is informed by the population of people that make it a reality. That's why, for example, it used to be illegal to have gay 2008, 2010, 100% on point. Yeah, this is what's going to happen. Pass it through the filter of AI sounds like pretty much an admission. Perhaps you shouldn't share too much for legal reasons. So, every legal system is informed by the population of people that make it a reality. That's why, for example, it used to be illegal to have gay sex, and now it's not. That's why, for example, it used to...
Whoa, what? Oh my god, he's so stupid.
Bruh.
Oh my god.
So what you just said is that it was illegal to have gay sex, but at the same time, the laws reflect the opinion of the people? But why is it illegal for any time then? Wait, what? Do you think that, like, gay people just sprouted? Did the gay people just sprout and then, like, one day magically the opinion changed? No, gay people were always fucking, idiot. The law was just a fucked up law. What are you talking about? That is not true. Holy shit. I'm just doing this video because this dumbass banned me and I just can't. Dude, I used to think that he would make like one-off bad takes, but this nigga has a constant flow actually. And I realize now that this guy is just a fucking privileged white boy at this point. Maybe he didn't grow up rich, but he has definitely lost in the sauce now. He is an unempathetic monster, dude. He is literally, like, he has no fucking... I really think it's because he's been in this room too long. I hate to say it, but, like, when you don't go outside, that's when you, like, develop these views. Because I used to be like him.
To be illegal to smoke weed, and now it's not. That's why, for example,
again, that means that weed was unjustly illegal at some point, which means there's probably a lot of laws like that probably shouldn't be fucking laws. Like, what do you mean? Like, women's abortion rights? Do you think that really reflected public opinion? So you think that women just don't want to have fucking rights all of a sudden? No, you stupid bitch. People make fucking mistakes. What a fucking imbecile.
It used to be illegal to sell cigarettes to kids or to market, candy flavored cigarettes, but now it's not. It's because the legal system reflects the values of the public.
No, it doesn't, dumbass. Fucking idiot.
Now,
some of them maybe. There's some universal things like don't kill somebody. Like, obviously that shouldn't be a fucking... Like, people are dumb. They can agree with, like, simple stuff like that. But when it comes to complex things, no, dude. People make mistakes. Like, there's no way. You can't... Like, he's literally saying that like, no matter what, if the law says that you don't get to eat on Thursdays, then that's just the law, you know? That's it, I guess. Well, you should have planned for that. But the reason this won't click is because, for him at least, is because that's not a reality. None of this stuff, like, actually affects him. Now, this is the only point in which Asmongold will ever maybe admit that he's wrong. When something actually affects him. When there's a law that says AI can now clone Asmongold and he is no longer, like, allowed to have his own IP of himself, that's the only time it's a problem. But when it's so distant from his little fucking I don't even know what to call this shit. When he's distanced from it, he can't internalize it. He actually is just unempathetic. He doesn't understand how other people live, I guess, anymore. People message me saying, like, they think he's poor or something, or was poor at one point. But I mean, if you're poor when you're a kid, you're not really poor. Like, if you have a stable household or whatever, like you don't have responsibilities as a kid. Is what I'm trying to say. Like it's not the same. Like as an adult, he's not poor. You know what I mean? He hasn't gone outside enough. That's all I'm saying.
This is a very this is not a one-to-one comparison, right? And I think that we all can agree on like laws that we think are ridiculous. So, but like I think in a general sense, a legal system does reflect the desires of people in that legal system.
Absolutely not, idiot. Like what? No, they don't. They're put in place based on whoever was in power at the time and their interests. That's what the rules are made based on. Just selfishness, basically. A lot of them, anyway.
Not always. Oh wow, not always? You're so fucking smart.
Why are you disregarding not always? That is actually the point. Yes, what you're saying is not always true, which means it's wrong. Like, why does he just brush that away? I don't get it. He literally admits to it. Yes, not always. But then he says, I'm wrong. So, that's what he's saying.
Holy shit, are you kidding me?
He's so stupid. What, Cat?
Wait a second. So you're telling me there are things that aren't true?
What?
About this general statement. Wow.
Yeah. What? Is he actually in pain because he just figured it out? Is this called, like, what is this called? There's a word for this, where he's like, he's just making noises and pretending that something is wrong and meaningless. Yes. Oh my god.
I think that there.
I guess he's trying to make it seem like it's an anecdote, but it's not an anecdote, fucking idiot. An anecdote is like a one of, but when you're half wrong, it's no longer an anecdote. You're just fucking wrong. Like, what?
It's like actually like an IQ, a low IQ indicator that if a person has to insert the idea that there are exceptions to a rule.
It's not an exception. Well, it's an exception, but an extremely large exception. He's trying to make it seem like it's something small when it's not.
Like the people that have the need, I'm sure everybody does this sometimes, but like anybody who has to come out of their way and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, no, it's not always like that. Of course it's not always like that. They're stating the obvious, yeah. Midway, yeah, something like that. But anyway, those exceptions. And so anyway, yeah, I think that in general legal systems follow the values of the public. I do. I think that's a
slavery, segregation. So so back in the 1950s, 60s, when shit was segregated and there were laws for segregation, you don't think that there were a lot of people that, you know, actually the majority, unless of course you're racist and don't consider black people to be actual people who deserve human rights. So you're saying the system back then, when everyone, where the government said, oh actually no quote, when the government said, you know, black people just aren't human, you think that was everybody, so you think that that was correct. So you support slavery until it magically was not popular. Okay. It was always not fucking popular by the majority because there was a ton of fucking black people as slaves, fucking idiot.
A general trend. And so anyway, and oftentimes in cases where they don't, which I would say like the tax, I call it tax.
I hate to say call him like fucking idiot all the time, but it's like there's so much dumb shit encompassed in this one little segment, and it's just baffling. And it makes me mad because he's just so uncaring with the shit that he says. He doesn't really think about it. He doesn't really think about how it affects other people. He only thinks about himself. Every opinion, every take that he has benefits only himself. I'm fucking watching Crypt in the background. Every opinion only, like, it has to benefit him. It always benefits him. He is never harmed by his takes. Which means he's just not looking at it. He's like not looking at it from someone else's like viewpoint.
Tax law is like something where the legal system for the tax law doesn't really follow what the public wants. For example, like rich people have like all these write-offs and like weird shit that corporations can do, but like I don't think people really understand that, so they don't care about it.
People do care about it. They don't have the power to change it. Because the people preventing that change from happening are fucking rich and make sure it doesn't happen. Are you okay? People have always wanted the wealthy to pay their fair share. But they don't, which is why we can't have any fucking like systems in place to prevent people from living on the streets and shit. Safety net, that's what it's called, like all the other fucking civilized countries have. Man, what a roach.
I don't think that the average person views AI art using an aggregate source for like every other picture in the world to make a completely separate picture that.
But no, that's not what they're doing. What the AI is doing, they're taking the work of like one artist who has an aesthetic, essentially just stealing all of the work. They're stealing, but hiding it behind a barrier, the barrier of AI. So that it's the robot or it's the artificial intelligence that's stealing, not me. So they're not held accountable because it's like not an actual person who's doing it. Yeah, you can say that putting all the photos and artwork of one artist into a file and then copying all the attributes from it with one click in a machine is not stealing, but the machine is actually stealing. And you're in charge of the machine, and that makes you stealing. Like, what? If you tell something to steal for you, and it does it, and the thing that stole was an inanimate object, who's stealing? The inanimate object or the person?
That doesn't look like any of those original pictures. I don't think
that's not what's happening. Why do you think? So you're telling me you think that they're pulling from all this art to create something that wasn't pulled from the art? No, they're pulling from the art to create something that was exactly like the art, dumbass.
I think that people view that as stealing.
Oh, fuck.
I don't. I think that in a general sense, the public does not view that as stealing.
I'm just making this for just a memory, I guess, because I can't clip anymore, and I just want to save this dumbass's like entire shit that he did.
I think it's just logical
Fucking
to not view it as stealing.
It's actually a coward.
It's not. Yeah, because it's not. Like, there it is.
He's not he feels like he's talking to someone right now, but he's not. He's literally talking to himself and just agreeing with himself. That's all he's doing. And he's gonna get to my comments.
You're willing to pay less, even if it's AI made? Well, I don't know. The lawmakers don't always make the laws the public wants. You're right about that. It's not always like the way I said it.
I don't see how he brushes that off. How do you pull a positive? Like, how does that reinforce your decision? Why does that not make you think? Like, I'm confused.
Less, even if it's AI made.
It's such a weird thing to say. I just don't understand, like, what point he's trying to make by...
Well, I don't know. The lawmakers don't always make the laws the public wants. You're right about that. It's
What point is he trying to make by agreeing there?
not always like the way I said it is. You're so right. That's so true.
Yeah.
Kelsey's right. Oh shit, yo, thank you for the
So what he's saying is it's not always true that laws are made with the people's from the people's perspective and what they want. Like, and now you're saying it's true, which contradicts what you.
Right. Damn, I didn't know what you were streaming. I guess I must just start. I'll read this real quick.
And here it gets to me.
So, which comments easily disprove my logic? I mean, this should be easy, right?
No, it's not. You said so much dumb shit in like the span of 10 seconds. And I have to type and keep up with your bullshit as you continue to spew bullshit, dude. It's so hard. It's so
I
hard.
said that this easily, guys, it easily disproves my logic.
It really does.
Easy.
He disproves it himself, but he just brushes it away. He reads the comments that disprove it, and he's like, nope. So what? That's what he does. He's like, so what? Dumb nigga. Dumb as fuck.
Have a good stream. Oh, I'm chilling. Yeah, no, I honestly expected her to still
Hurry up.
Made out of what is considered just.
He tried to read my sentence like it was typed with bad grammar and shit, but then he had to give up because though I'm not spell checking my shit, it wasn't written like a dumbass. Fucking, he had to take the voice off. Fucking annoying. Oh my god, I hate him so much now. Why are you face palming? You did say it yourself. All laws are not made out of what is considered just. You said it yourself. He literally.
Can you make a position first?
Why do I need to make it? I'm not trying to make any position. I'm telling you that you're wrong and why. The why is because you agreed with it.
And that way I can argue against a position rather than you agreeing with what I said.
Is he fucking projecting? Rather than you just agreeing with what I said? That is literally what he just did. Wait, what? He's hard projecting.
They just pops up a picture. All laws are not made out of what is considered just.
Oh, I forgot.
Can you make a position first? And that way I can argue against a position rather than you agreeing with what I said.
You agreeing with what I said. Hold on to that point. What the fuck did this dumb bitch just do?
It's not. Like, Kelsey's right. Oh shit, yo, thankful. Look, I do. I think that's a general trend. And so anyway, and oftentimes in cases where they don't, which I would say like the tax like on a tax law is like something trend. I don't think that the average person views I don't think that people view that as stealing. Logical to not. People are willing to pay less, even if you're so right. Well, I don't know.
Here we go.
It's not.
So what did he say? He said, why are you agreeing with me or some shit?
Like that. There it is. People are willing to pay less, even if it's AI made. Well, I don't know. The lawmakers don't always make the laws the public wants. You're right about that. It's not always like the way I said it is.
So why are you doing what you just said not to do? Why are you just agreeing with him for no reason? Like what? He's hard projecting here. He's literally hard projecting. I wish it were easier to find out where the fuck this shit was.
Can you make a position first?
No.
And that way I can argue against a position.
I don't need to do that.
Rather than you agreeing with what I said.
Agreeing with what the other person said too? So you can do it, but I can't? Shut the fuck up, dude.
Generally, like, because like if you want to go down this line of argumentation, I'm fine with it. Right, this is okay. But I don't want to argue against somebody who's just making things up, right?
Making what up? What is there to make up? All laws are not made out of what is considered just. Is this a hard concept to understand? Do I really have to give examples for this? Throughout history, there have been dog shit ass laws that have been like detrimental to like society, law and order, like everything. Like, what is he talking about?
Or like you're not really stating.
Does he not think? Like, does this guy not ever just sit down and think? God, he's been in Twitch chat too long.
What you think. You're just, kind of holding on to some sort of amorphous "you're wrong" type thing.
What? No, I'm not. I didn't just say you were wrong. I told you why you were wrong.
So like, what are you really trying?
So you can't. You see how you can't type all this shit up. It's too much because he's in a constant flow of just saying just dumb shit. I'm like, fuck, I gotta address that too now. Oh my god! While I was typing this, he says this. He's really in a fucked up echo chamber.
Trying to say here.
I've never. Maybe I shouldn't say that yet. I've never wished the worst for someone, I don't think. Maybe I have. No. I have never done that. But in Asmongold's case, I think that would be the only way for him to start caring about people other than himself or the people that are immediately around him in his life. I actually think, I don't wish him the worst, not the worst, but I really hope he comes into some sort of misfortune that allows him to like be in other people's shoes that are just not as fortunate as him, so he can see like why these things are not okay, because they're like obviously not okay things. And I just don't. You just have to be really lost in the sauce to not understand. Like, to not understand what, like, how.
Phil. Can't think laws are created with good intentions.
He really has to stop and think after everything I say, because these should be light bulbs. These light bulbs are popping up in his head, but he's brushing them away, just looking for a way to defend his bullshit, really. That's what instead of trying to figure out if something's right, he's spending all of his fucking little brain power to try and defend his terrible fucking, like, stance, his terrible viewpoint. He's putting his energy, to his brain power, his energy into the wrong thing. Like, what point is it in being wrong? Why would you want to be wrong? Why are you putting all this energy into making your wrong a right when you're just wrong, and it's okay to be wrong? That's what like life is about, learning from your mistakes. But he just doesn't want to make a mistake. But he is making mistakes though. He just doesn't want to see it.
Okay, I'm gonna just you're not a debater, what the fuck? Well then why are you trying to debate me?
Dumb nigga. I'm not debating you. I'm telling you why you're fucking wrong and you need to stop that bullshit. Like, you are. This is not how, like.
Number one, so if you're.
I don't give a fuck about debating you. I'm trying to enlighten you. And debating is not important. That's his problem. Like, he wants to debate. Nigga, I don't want to debate with you. I want you to stop like spreading this shit to your chat and making them think like this, because you're just creating so many fucking evil bitches like yourself. Like, stop that shit. I want you to wake up so that you can start gospel preaching the right shit, my brother.
If you're not a debater, then why are you trying to debate me in my chat? So just shut the fuck up. If you don't want to debate me, then don't fucking come in.
You're the one who pulled up my fucking text. I wasn't trying to get your fucking attention. You decided to make this a huge, big ordeal. And I'm glad you did. Because it helped me realize exactly how fucking lost in the fucking sauce you were.
And try to debate me.
Fucking idiot.
Shit in what I think. And you can tell me if you think that it's wrong or not.
I already did that. Idiot.
I think that in a general sense, the public's perception of what's right and what's wrong is reflected in the laws in that country.
Except they're not. That's the whole point. They aren't. And that's where the whole shit should end. They're not.
And I think this is also...
This is where Asmongold says a lot of things that sound right. Because the things he says are based on logic and reason. The problem is, they're based on, he's building a house on a shit foundation. The foundation here, in this case, being this.
Are you trying to debate me?
This is his foundation, I think, right
Number
here.
one, so if you're not a debater, then why are you trying to debate me in my chat? What's wrong with you? If you don't want to debate me, it's the public's perception. I'm going to talk about my position and what I think, and you can tell me if you think that it's wrong or not. I think that
And here's his foundation. He does this. I used to think, like when I first started watching him, I thought that it was a one of. But as I kept watching him, I thought he was so funny, dude. Like I don't know. He had he has a lot of good takes, I think. But when it comes to, I started realizing, like, when it comes to like things that affect, like, I don't know how else to say this, people less fortunate than him, I find that he is constantly coming to the wrong. I was just surprised, like, why does he? I thought it was really a one-up. What was the first thing that he said that really got to me? And I was like, okay, I guess that's fine, but as long as that's the only thing. What did he say? I don't know. But he does this all the time, where he just builds up from a really shitty foundation. So I actually have memory issues, which is why it's really hard for me to like. That makes it like even harder for me to like defend this shit, like this shit.
In a general sense, the public's perception of what's right and what's wrong is reflected in the laws in that country.
False. Now that we have the shit foundation set, he will only build from this instead of looking back at like where it came from. And that's what he does. He has a lot of logical points from an illogical like baseline view.
And I think this is
like, you're already wrong. Everything he says is already, anything that comes after this is already wrong. Just by default. But it's going to sound right because the things that come after are logically based off of something wrong. You know what I mean?
It's also a chicken and an egg situation. Because people perceive virtue through law, and people also make virtue into law. So I think that there is a symbiotic relationship here where they feed into each other. But I would argue that I think that the people in America have a higher value that they place on free speech than places in other parts of the world that don't have free speech. Now, whether this is certain European countries that have limitations on different types of speech, like Germany, for example.
What are you talking about?
Or whether this is something like Russia or China that have a lot more restrictions on it. I think that the people in those different countries will have values associated to ideals like free speech or like drug control or things like that that are somehow or somewhat in line with the controls for free speech in the government. Asmon, what are you talking about?
Yeah. What are you talking about? I have no idea what he just said.
Are people triggered because
What does that have to...
I said that Germany doesn't have free speech? I'm right. They don't.
You think America has free speech?
Anyway.
Those are just words, like... That is just like a sentence.
Next. You can...
It's like a generalization. It doesn't actually mean you can say whatever the fuck you want without consequences.
Argue.
I think like a lot of places have that. They just don't call it the same thing.
Bro, don't argue with me. Argue with the German government. I didn't do this. I'm literally just, I know what the laws are there. Like, it's not, this isn't my opinion. Laws that are already in. You're basically saying laws are good and we should follow them. They are not all good. You know it's true. So stop basing your logic on law.
Dude, so why are you trying to fuck up my fucking... Bro, I don't talk like a fucking inept idiot. Just stop, dude. Just stop.
Laws that are already in place. This is not a debate channel. Are you okay? I'm not. I'm trying to make you realize. You're trying to make me realize something. By what? By debating me. You're using...
Who gives a fuck? That doesn't matter what you call it. I'm just telling you, you're a fucking idiot. Fix that shit.
Circular logic trying to make me sound stupid because you are coming into my chat telling me that I'm wrong.
Yep.
So anyway, that was a gaming site?
Yes, correct.
No, obviously not. Some people are so out of touch with reality, it's insane. Yeah, exactly.
He's just saying random shit at this point.
Yep, denying the Holocaust.
Damn, dude.
Will get you in legal trouble. Also, informally talking to a police officer will get you in trouble, as you are only supposed to talk to them the formal way. I'm not sure about the police officer part. I didn't know that. I don't know the nuances of that. But I know that, like, for a lot of for an example, the idea of like hate speech or denying the Holocaust or things like that are against the law in Germany, and that's not the case here in the United States. Somebody can deny the Holocaust here, and guess what? They don't go to jail. They don't get arrested. Like, true and true. Like, that is literally the truth. Like, it's not about whether it's right or wrong. It's about this is the truth. So if I say they have less freedom of speech there, this is an objective fact. Like, this isn't a debate. This isn't a I'm wrong and I don't see it that way. No, you literally look up the laws and it says this. Like, what are we even talking? What the fuck are people? What's wrong with some people? Oh my God. Anyway, let's go back to what this guy's point was. Jesus Christ, people love to get hung up about the dumbest fucking shit. Anyway, you're basically saying laws are good. No, I'm not. Do you think that I think that people are good?
You are saying laws are good, and you're saying that they are based on the opinion of the people. So you should follow them indiscriminately, like, without question, no matter what. That's literally what he said. So if you're not going to push back on a law because it's already in place, I'm hoping you think it's a good law. Like, oh fuck. Maybe that's not, like, what am I trying to say?
Because I certainly fucking don't. So if I say laws are a manifestation of the will of the people, and then I don't think people are good, then logically I wouldn't think the laws are always good either, right?
Okay.
You better refresh me. I am not finished. I'm sure you're not. I'm not trying to make you sound stupid. I'm telling you that you are wrong, and stop trying to disregard things that prove it. You do it all the time. If I do it all the time, give me one example of me doing it.
You can't even give one example, fucking idiot. Like, what? No one just sits there writing down what you say, bro. I don't fucking remember. What you say a lot of shit. You say a lot of stupid shit all the time. What a ridiculous.
Give me one example.
Like, we were just talking about an example. What happened to that? Why are you disregarding that? I already told you. It's a loser. Just like play putt. I'm fucking. Oh shit.
I'm not a debater, but you better refresh my debate comments because I'm not done debating you.
No, I'm not done telling you how much a
It's okay.
fucking idiot you are.
It's fine. If a law says you can't eat food if you have no money, then I guess you just die of starvation. What do you think I'm trying to say? I think that we're having a fundamental miscommunication. What do you think I'm talking about?
You're talking about a lot of shit. You're talking about following laws no matter what. You're talking about laws being correct because they were put in place based on public opinion or some shit like that. Like, that's what you're talking about. He literally just said laws are good, basically. He said you should follow laws because they're put in place for your own good. That's what he said. That's what we're talking about.
I'm not an encyclopedia. I don't remember all the things you say. But do you remember one of them?
Nope.
I'm not
I sure
asking
don't.
you to remember all
You
the
said
things
a
I
lot
said.
of fucking
I'm
dumb
just
shit.
asking you to remember one of the things that I said.
I can't. There's a lot. I don't.
Like, I agree with you. Like, I don't remember all the things I said either.
Okay.
But I was hoping that we could remember one.
So if you can't remember,
Right? I mean,
can
like,
you?
is that unreasonable?
Yeah, it is.
We can't remember one.
I'm not trying to record your fucking speech. Like what? It's not how people work.
Not everyone's equipped to go into a debate. Text versus typing makes it look even worse. If not everyone's equipped to debate, then maybe they shouldn't start debating me in chat. Like, it's not even really...
Right, no one should push back on a single thing that you say. We should all just suck your dick and just send you happy stuff, happy thoughts, smiley faces and rainbows and Hershey kisses, whatever the fuck you like.
A debate, you're talking about laws being absolute and uncontestable, and we should follow them blindly. Okay, so that's not what I said. But I do agree with this.
That's not what you said, but that is what you said.
I actually, no, I don't. I don't agree with this, but I do think, so we should follow them, yes, absolutely. Do you think that you should be able to ignore a law? You've decided that I don't agree with this law, I will just ignore and not do this law.
You should not be able to ignore a law, but you should also understand that not every law is put in place for your best interest. Hold on.
And I'm asking, like, I want to ask him, like, I mean, obviously everybody's going to have their own answer, right? But, like, what are you going to do? What do you think?
I think the main problem I have with, like, breaking down his stuff is that it's really hard to keep on, like, on point, like, on topic. Because he introduces a lot of stuff that doesn't make any sense. Like, I feel like I have to write it down. Like, what were we originally talking about? We were talking about him saying that laws are made in consideration of popular opinion, or the opinion of the people. So it's like anything that he says that it doesn't relate to this should just be ignored. And I don't know why he keeps on asking, like, what example? Because there is no example. I'm just telling you what you said is wrong. So what do you mean? What you just said is that's what we're talking about.
Depending on what the law is, I would say yes. Well, let's go ahead, Chad. I'm not paying you any attention. You're not important. Shut the fuck. Guys, so do you think that people should be able to ignore laws if they disagree with them?
if you live, like, if you're in a, what? Shut up, demented. Dude, if you look at a fucking, fucking demented. Like, bruh, if you're dying of fucking hunger, dude, and you have kids, you're like, say you're like a single parent, you got 2 kids, you've got 2 jobs trying to make ends meet. 1 week you have a car crash, not car accident, so that sets that fucks up your very delicate financial balance, and now you don't have quite enough money to pay rent. Do you really think, like, if you really trying to take care of your family, how important is that law that says, like, don't steal, if that's your only means of, like, supporting your family? Like, if you're literally gonna die, if you're gonna be homeless, kicked out on the street with your kids, do you really think that that stealing law is gonna have that much of a weight in your decision that you make? Just tell me, yeah, I got banned, but I can't clip. I would just clip this and be done with it because I want to remember it, so I have to do this. And since I'm gonna record it, I might as well just fucking comment on it as well. Fucking idiot. I hate this guy now. I mean, he's funny.
I mean, it's a pretty simple question, right? I mean, like, ask again. Telling your filthy chat to shut the fuck up. Do you think that you should be able to ignore laws whenever you disagree with them personally? It's like, I have a moral, I'm morally against this law.
Oh my god, you're so dumb.
Okay. If the law is actively preventing you from surviving, yes, many laws are broken for that reason.
Think about it.
Okay.
Okay. What, cat? Okay. Now he has to, instead of trying to think of like, huh, is this correct? Is this right enough for me to actually change how I think about things? Instead of thinking like that, trying to figure out whether I'm correct or not, he's trying again. He's trying to he's putting all of his processing power into defending his bullshit instead of like figuring out the truth. I used to be like this. I cannot stand this shit now. Because I know when I was doing this, I didn't know I was doing it. But now that I don't do that anymore, and I'm like, it's okay to be wrong. Like, it's actually way better this way. It's just, fuck, it's so sad to see this fucking spoiled, rich fucking white guy that has no interaction with the outside world, like, saying this ignorant shit all the time. It's sad. About to cry.
I want to think of a way to address this. That makes sense. Law is actively preventing you from surviving.
Oh! Is that a hard one for you? Because it's hard to fight. It's hard to deny that. When I put it in easy terms, like I'm gonna die unless I steal, it's very hard to find a counter to that, huh? You gotta really think of something, huh? How can that be wrong? And that's why it's taking so long. What am I responding to initially? He said some stupid shit about laws are made based on the interests of the people. And then he proceeded to say, just like the laws of, like the marijuana laws, the laws against weed, what used to be illegal, but now it's legal. And that just fucking... He literally is admitting he's wrong in the same sentence where he's trying to say he's right. So, if weed... He also brought up gay. I hope I don't forget this one. So, if weed was illegal at one point, are you telling me that nobody was smoking weed. No one wanted that to be legalized. Is that what you're saying? So in that case, no. Laws are not created based on the opinion or the wants of the people. And then he said, gay sex. I think he said gay sex or something used to be illegal too. Did he think that gays just magically sprung out from the bushes? Does he think that gays just now started existing or something? And same with weed. Like, if weed, the laws for marijuana just recently, relative to. Anyway. Oh my god. Weed laws just got changed rather recently, right? So is he saying that it's so much.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and let's talk about what who determines on what surviving is. Because for example, you're probably determining surviving based off of living. So
Oh shit. Wait, what'd he say? Fuck. I'm determining it based on fucking essential needs. Water, food, and fucking shelter. Like, what else? What the fuck? Don't fucking... Why are you assuming something so...
Okay, well, let's go ahead and let's talk about what who determines on what surviving is.
The bitch who's about to die.
Because, for example, you're probably determining surviving based off of living.
The homeless bitch. The bitch who can't feed her fucking 3 kids. The bitch who's working 2 jobs and still working or living check to check. Who's about to be thrown on the streets. The people that you'll never be able to relate to because you're just some fucking privileged white boy now. You just don't get it. You can... What? Fuck. Oh my god. Can you hear them? He literally just can't relate.
So you're talking about stealing food or something like that, right? And I think that in a general sense, most people agree that stealing food in order to prevent yourself from dying isn't really that big of a deal. And this is like an extreme circumstance that is like such a minor fraction that it's not really worth talking about.
Number one, I think that's pretty insane to say. I think if even one person is dying of starvation, it deserves to be looked at. Like, there's something that means society is failing this person in some way. I don't think that you should just blow that off either. But he's not understanding the point. Like, people will do what they need to do to survive. He wants it to be just one extreme example of just like people starving, but it's more than that. It's more than just that. It's more than just the lack of safety nets and shit. It's a lot of shit. The housing market's fucked up. Why? Because actually don't. I'm not gonna say things I'm not that I think I know, but I'm not gonna say things that I'm not too familiar with.
But let's go ahead and let's talk about it in a more abstract sense. Surviving is also being able to afford shelter. Surviving is also being able to afford a lifestyle for a lot of people. So what happens whenever a person steals something to sell it, to use money for the stolen object that then they can use to survive? Is it only okay to steal the end product that you need to survive? Or is it okay to steal products that you need to use as a vehicle to get...
Damn, dude. why don't you ask the person who's stealing? Do you think they're really putting that much thought into it? They don't give a fuck. Whatever they have to do. That's why drug dealers exist. Like, they're not doing it because it's fun. No one becomes a drug dealer because it's fucking fun, you stupid bitch. Is that what he thinks? They're just wanting to run around riding their fucking Bugattis. I think I said that too.
Get money to survive. And I think that really, like, once you start actually looking at the idea and the ethics of this, it immediately begins to unravel. Because the foundation of any normal society is law. The reason why you have the government is because of law. And every single country that doesn't enforce its laws is a place that you never want to go to. There is never one of these like African countries that are fucking horrible. They're like, it just,
No one's saying there shouldn't be laws. We're just saying not every law is in the best interest of the people. They're not all created in the best interest of the people.
I cannot even begin to describe because I don't even.
And that's what all this is supposed to be about. But I don't know. He's bringing up this thing now. All of a sudden, some bullshit about like I think that there shouldn't be laws. No one said that.
Understand.
This is all just a waste of breath. Like, this has nothing to do with anything. It sounds like it has something to do with the talking point, but it doesn't. He's just trying to. He couldn't think of a direct way to make himself right, so now he's just saying some other random shit that is actually correct to still be correct somehow, just by bringing up something random.
How bad it is.
As long as he's right, that's all that matters.
There are South American countries that is.
I was wrong about this, but let's not pay attention to that. Laws. We should definitely have those, right? It would be silly not to. No one fucking said that, dude.
Same way. The countries that actively do not enforce their own laws are some of the worst places in the world.
Okay,
but I can understand them. And if I was the notion of surviving as a decision that the person who's stealing something has to make, but everybody doesn't define surviving the same way. And that's why we all have agreed upon law.
Yeah, but the person who's trying to survive is still trying to survive. That doesn't change anything. Like, no one said that stealing was right. They shouldn't have to steal. If they have to steal to survive, then something's wrong, right?
Laws.
Like, if it's not the law that says no stealing, then it must be something else, right? People don't just steal stuff, dude.
That allow people to make those decisions for us.
Well, I guess some people do just steal stuff, but...
And also, what happens if somebody steals from you and you're trying to survive by selling things, but somebody steals it from you? Well, can you kill them? Because they're preventing you from surviving and
he's on this entire we need to have laws thing that no one is disagreeing with. So I think I'm just going to skip forward.
If that's the case. Imagine, like, if you could just, we're just going to just all disagree with this law. And again, whenever you don't have the mean...
But then I guess the law would change because, according to you, laws are based on the opinions of the people. So if everyone didn't like the law, it just wouldn't be a law. Except that's not how it works.
To representation, I think that your point of view is very strong. Because you literally can't change the law. But we live in a country where we actually can. And if you are going to make...
No, we do not.
Some sort of first world problem as...
Women just got their fucking rights taken away. What do you mean? You think the majority of women don't want to have control over their own body? So you think that law was in the best interest of the people? It's not true, sir.
As if we're living in the same type of...
He's so unempathetic. I can't believe it. I can't believe it because I was using this guy to fill in so much dead space in my life.
totalitarian
It's
dictatorship
sad. It's just sad.
that North Korea, or to a lesser extent Russia or China or a lot of these South American countries have, where they actually don't have any control over their laws, you are so massively privileged that you don't even realize it. It's like you're a fish and you don't realize that you're surrounded by water. So I think that the position that people have, that they don't have the ability or autonomy to change laws, is often driven by the idea, truthfully, that their positions aren't popular enough for people to adopt them. And as positions like, for example, medical marijuana become more popular, then more people adopt the position, and now medical marijuana is adopted in, as far as I know, almost every state.
Okay, you're wrong. Medical marijuana has always been a thing. It's not medical marijuana that is in question, it's recreational use. Stupid ass.
Because the world and the perception on that in the United States has changed. So I think that your position is totally wrong. I'm not making an argument to authority. I'm not making an argument to power. But I am making an argument that I think that the people and the laws are again, rough, not one-to-one, a rough reflection of the will of the people.
Okay, it's a rough reflection.
Is that fair?
Let's think. Is that fair? No, it's not. It's some, not all the people, no. What does that mean? You can't say rough reflection of the people, because the people are not united. The laws reflect the interests of those who put them in place. And the people that put them in place are the people in power. So it has nothing to do with the generalized public.
Do you see my position? You think they're selling drugs so they can drive Bugattis and smoke cigars? You're going to think of a way to force yourself to be right?
Yep.
Well, yeah, that's usually, so you're right. The best way to test if an idea is good is to look at extremes. Yeah. Yeah, because if an idea can only work in one small sliver.
Is the starvation point not extreme enough? He contradicts himself so frequently. So the best way to look at something is to look at extremes. Someone is dying of starvation because of the laws. Is that not extreme enough? But you disregarded that and said that's just a very small, minute group of people. But now you're saying, no, extremes are good to look at. So it's which one is it? He literally is just trying to be right, that's it. He's just trying to win.
Without being applied to anything else, it's probably
but he's
not a very
cheating.
good idea.
He's cheating.
That's what I was saying before about how most philosophy is worthless because it's not applicable to real life. That's why someone like Carl Jung will be remembered in 500 years. When the government does nothing to help you as a paycheck, you have barely 2 jobs to get by because capitalism forces you to work the hardest for the least amount of pay. Even the most minute thing that goes wrong, you could easily lead to homelessness or worse. What is that? Is this a trauma dump? What are you doing here?
A trauma dump? Why? What is that? That's not a reply. What is this? I don't know. It sounds like something pretty logical, right? Why don't you figure it out? Why don't we stop and think about it? But instead of doing that, he just wants to look like he's smart. That's it. So now he's going to say some other random fact that has nothing to do with this. That is correct, but is still completely irrelevant to the discussion.
Are you trauma dumping right now, or is this an argument?
What does that even mean?
Spanish chat window.
Yeah. What? You wanted to chat? He's
Is
never
this
gonna
a trauma
fucking.
dump? What are you doing here?
He would never do that. He's scared.
Are you trauma dumping right now, or is this an argument?
Does someone want me to get in chat with him?
Smash out one.
He would never do that. He's a bitch. Bitch boy.
I'm not going to respond to this person, but I will pull them up. Asmon Bansfield forgot to comment whenever they have to ask him for logical consistency across topics. And he said, do you think Israel deserved
I already
October
explained
7th?
that. Yeah, I'm banned.
This is the kind of people we've got. They're not sending their best. People have families to take care of. Do you not understand that it's very hard to survive under capitalism? Laws are not made in the best interest of the people. And how hard is it to survive under communism? Or how about one of the other countries that have a dictatorship?
Why are we talking about dictatorships and communism when we're in the fucking United States of a fucking America? Again, he doesn't care about finding the truth. He just wants to be right. So again, he just makes another tangent that has nothing to do with the current situation, dude. He's so fucking annoying.
And people less fortunate than you live because you're obviously not aware. You don't understand. See, remember when I was talking to you before about how there are people who have a self-referential worldview? This is a person with a self-referential worldview.
Is he projecting? The only person with a self, whatever the fuck worldview is you.
Their entire worldview is completely circularly reasoned out by their own experiences and their own desires and what they want.
Okay, if that were the case, if it's me with a self-referential worldview versus you, my worldview would be more in line with the general population. Because I'm not rich fuck white boy. Like, what the fuck? If anything, my view is way more related. Like, I just don't. It's not like not even worth talking about that because
Why?
it's irrelevant again.
This person has no comprehension of the fact that whenever you do something to somebody else, this affects another person. And that in turn causes that other person to affect somebody else. I think that you're right in an abstract, but you don't exist in an abstract. You exist with...
Oh, he's talking about the straw man he made up. He's talking about the straw man that believes there shouldn't be any rules and that you're just stealing for... I don't know. This straw man has so much baggage, dude. I just don't even remember all the stuff. And it's so hard to keep up with this shit. It's hard to keep up with someone who just constantly goes on tangents to make themselves seem right.
With a bunch of other people. And that's the difference here.
It's too much to address.
Didn't we actively ignore laws when Trump tried to do all those executive orders, though? I think most states just refused to follow those. No, the states didn't refuse to follow the laws. The states refused to follow the laws on the grounds that was stated by the laws that were already existing, that were created by previous administrations to prevent against people using executive orders in order to create a basically dictatorship. No, they used the rules. Like, for example, the Trump travel ban was...
Do you think that makes the rules right?
Fucking proven by the Supreme Court to be wrong.
What? Did he contradict
It's
himself?
fucking proven by the Supreme Court to be wrong.
Is he contradicting himself again?
Right.
Hold on.
And that in turn causes that other person to affect somebody else. I think that you're right in an abstract, but you don't exist in an abstract. You exist with a bunch of other people. And that's the difference here.
Straw man. What the fuck?
Didn't we actively ignore laws when Trump tried to do all those executive orders, though? I think most states just refused to follow those. No, the states didn't refuse to follow the laws. the states refused to follow the laws on the grounds that was stated by the laws that were already existing, that were created by previous administrations to prevent against people using executive orders in order.
This man will go to any lengths. Like, wow. I don't think he even knows what he's saying, dude.
To create a basically dictatorship. No, they use the rules. Like, for example, the Trump travel ban was fucking proven by the Supreme Court to be wrong. Shut the fuck up, dude. America's the richest country with the most homelessness. Of course, laws are not working as well as you think. You exist in the abstract. You're the rich guy. I can't relate. You are so blind. I can't believe I was once like you. America's richest country in the world with the most homelessness. I don't agree with you there. I don't
It doesn't matter if you don't agree.
think that's true.
It's pretty much true, yes.
A good example of this is Japan isn't a good example.
And this
of
is
this
the best part. This is the best part. This is the best part when this dumb bitch looks it up, dude. He should be in line with extreme examples. Isn't that his thing? Didn't he just say that that's the best way to figure shit out? Oh, he's looking it up. He's not seeing things he likes.
This is interesting.
Oh, yeah?
We're number 4.
Does this bitch know how many countries there are? Does he not think 4 is high as fuck? Doesn't he think that's a little weird that the country with the most wealth has the most homelessness too? Do you not think those laws are failing somewhere, sir?
And
is he gonna stop and think about that? No. He's gonna look for another tangent or some shit.
we're actually being beaten out by Spain and France even. Look at this. Italy, Spain, and France. We're number 4. What's this, my country? No, this is it's 4.8, right? And so homelessness in Nigeria has the world's highest number of homeless people. Although there appears to be a precise number of homeless people, it's impossible to track and quantify those who changed their state to homeless. So Nigeria, again, has 200 million people, and apparently 2.4 million are homeless. High cost of living, homelessness in Syria. And so, yeah, 24. Oh, you're saying 24 million. Okay, so Nigeria has way less people than we do. Like, we have 350 million. Don't we? We have that almost. It says 20.
Anyway, he goes on this for a while.
Bro, there's a war. Saying sure, the rich, but
And he gets back to me.
Not true, because you can look it up. Why wouldn't you look?
What did you?
In Syria, 29%, right? So up than a raw number in a bigger country. I think that's really, really bad. That's 1 in 4 people. Bro, there's a war. Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, there's a war, and we're still.
When did I ever say there wasn't?
There's a war, bro, and we are competing in homelessness versus that. Brother. How do you not see this?
My point is that you're saying something that's not true. And it's provably not true.
He is really having a hard time with first, second, third, and fourth place, bro. He just can't. What place does it have to be in? Does it literally have to be? Does America have to be the maximum homelessness country? Does it really need to be the maximum of fucking hoes on the street before it's a problem? It's crazy, dude. It does have to be second place, third place. Is third place good enough?
Because you can look it up. Why wouldn't you look up something like this rather than just say that? He's saying out of the richest countries.
Crazy.
There's a homeless problem and everybody knows it. Everybody also knows the housing market went to shit. We're number 4 of how many countries? Do you not think that's a problem? Sure, that's a problem. But you are, and this is the issue that people have, right? Do you remember how I was telling you guys how people think that people try to intellectualize a problem, and they think about this like this big problem in their mind, but they're not really thinking about the reality of their actions? And I think that's what you're doing.
Reality of the actions. What actions are being... What actions is he talking about? I'm talking in chat. He is literally just making shit up. He just makes shit up. It makes no sense.
So you're talking about the homelessness epidemic at a worldwide level. I'm talking about what happens whenever somebody steals something. I don't care about that. I'm talking about on a personal level. Like individual logic. Like it doesn't matter the nature of the world. The trends of the world don't matter. It matters how you act as an individual. You're not going to change that. He's changed the topic 3 times. You shouldn't be put in a position to steal to survive. The state has failed you if you're put in that position.
Exactly.
Her population is 134 million? Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people, right? And so, let me go back. I'm going to read this real quick. I've said enough logically sound things to convince you, at least one of your dumbasses in chat. I've done my work here. Move on. I'm bored of you.
Yeah. At this point, I realized that, like, he's just speaking to a cult, really. He created this cult. When someone can only be right, like, you're just gonna... It's so weird. It's just so weird. Like, he really isn't trying to, like, improve himself or do what's right, or he doesn't care. He only cares about himself and what affects him.
Just the reality is that you know that the reason why you're saying that is because you know that you can't defend your position.
I actually did. I have more shit to say, but he banned me before you read it.
You know you can't do it. You know that you cannot defend a position that says that it's okay to...
It's like I don't even have a position. Bullying and harassment. We deal with this stuff like adults. There you go. See how you like that one.
Steal. And that's why you're trying to make these abstract world level arguments, because you
keep them. I haven't even made an argument. I literally have not made, like, there is no argument. The only arguments are the only arguments that have been made are like his own with himself.
Can't defend your individual actions. You think that because the world is unfair, it's okay for you to contribute to that unfairness. And then you can always make these abstract arguments.
It's like straw man, straw man, straw man, straw man, straw man.
Do you think it's okay to just randomly commit crime whenever you decide that it's okay? Well, imagine what happens whenever somebody decides it's okay.
Who said that?
Did I say that?
No, did I say that?
No, that's not stealing. The reason why it's not stealing is the government determines and defines private property. So if the government defined
Did he
it
ban
as
me
that,
yet? Because if
I
that's
guarantee you somehow it's not going to be okay. And this is the reason why you have laws, and this is the
I
reason
said I was bored of him.
why you need to follow them. That's it. It's sad that so many people have this perspective. It really is.
Okay, he really just fought with himself. Anyway, just wanted to document the stupidity. Now I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I guess I'll cut it off real quick.